your officer was providing service to a community.
Sheriff's office!
And in the aftermath,
I got lethal. Matt, open the door.
he was killed and 4 other officers were injured.
Sheriff's office!
There's a mental health crisis not only in Colorado but in our nation.
We're here because we want to make sure you're okay.
The key to it is to remove a handgun when they're so unable to make rational decisions for their own health and their own welfare.
He's going through a manic episode. We're going to take him.
As a law enforcement officer, I don't feel like this is a power that should be given to any law enforcement agency. It's an infringement of someone's constitutional rights.
Parrish is still in there.
Zack's life will not be lost in vain.
So people have started to ask, okay, what can we do in cases where there's someone who law enforcement, family members would all say should not have a gun, especially not a gun like an AR-15, but they don't actually have a legal mechanism to do so.
My office, I'm supposed to do whatever I can to make sure that the community is safe and use it inside the confines of the laws of the state of Colorado. And I saw that my hands were tied, that I couldn't do my job.
We must make sure that those judged to pose a grave risk to public safety do not have access to firearms, and that if they do, those firearms can be taken through rapid due process. That is why I have called for red flag laws.
A red flag law is a type of court order that allows a judge to require the seizure of legally owned guns when the owner presents an imminent risk of harm to either themselves or others. The guns can be ordered seized in a hearing without the gun owner present, and that is something that gives a lot of gun rights advocates pause. Another hearing is immediately scheduled in 2 weeks, where the gun owner can come into court and explain why they don't pose a threat to themselves or others.
I never believed that we would pass a law in this state that would go this far, and it would ask local law enforcement to do exactly what I've always preached against, which is disarming people over something that isn't upheld in our court processes.
It sounds like a knee-jerk reaction to something that, yeah, sure, maybe it might save a life, but at what cost?
What is the cost?
Well, you're right. You're taking away my property.
This law isn't aimed at addressing the person, it's aimed at addressing a firearm, and that's where the risk lies for me. I don't think gun control is the answer. I think dealing with people is the answer.
I don't want people that are mentally unstable to have guns. I firmly believe in that, but I also believe that right now, the way it stands, they don't have a way to determine what that mental instability looks like.
I would rather face the consequences of not enforcing this law than to violate someone's constitutional rights. Is that really what you want to give your rights up to, as a subjective ruling from law enforcement applying to a court to say that someone's rights should be terminated? I'm telling you.
But if it means it could potentially save lives?
So at what cost? At what cost?
At the cost of taking someone's firearms away for potentially a short time.
Well, so what I'm telling you is, as a government official, as a law enforcement person, I don't think law enforcement should have this power.
Been in this business for 40 years, lived in this state my whole life, an avid gun owner, a protector of the Second Amendment. I disagree with them wholeheartedly that this is a law that will save lives and will only temporarily remove guns away from people who are dangerous.